Hello everybody and welcome back to Tropico. Well, it's rather bleak and dark outside, so why not just jump back into the tropics? We are looking at El Presidente here right now, not the poor chap that is, well, going over here without a shirt. I have no idea who this guy is here, Sergio Sanchez, something like that. I think he's a rebel or something like that. He's unemployed, but he comes out of the palace. I don't know what El Presidente is planning there with this poor chap there, but otherwise he's looking fine there. El Presidente looking like for a good vacation there. This is our palace in the middle of the island Ireland that we have here now, so the island Ireland. And in that case here, it's a beautiful island, right? So we definitely want to live here. We have nothing here right now. A nice little swamp river going through that. We do have a volcano on the other side there, so that's good for tourism later then. Here we're definitely going to have our tourist palaces and stuff like that. And over here we have lots and lots of building space. That is just beautiful. It's a beautiful map there, one of the DLC maps. So we are playing this game, of course, with all the DLCs that we have right now. So Llama, Splitter, and so on. And here we have our dock right now. I've paused the game, so we're looking at a beautiful town there. I absolutely love the graphics there. Right, we do have, well, some bunkhouses here. What I can see is not a bunkhouse here. There we have a tavern that is being used right now, so a bit of income here as well. We have $50,000 on our account and we're starting with 50 people there. So the cool thing about Tropico is that every single one of them actually is a person here with a name, with a family, with some education, with its age, and, well, its situation where it's living and workplace and stuff like that. We're starting in the colonial age, so really at the very beginning of Tropico 6, and we're going through the ages there. So you have different eras, and with each era your city changes, of course, as well. The streets are changing. Right now we are 1850, I think, as far as I know. So the only thing that's a bit more modern is the palace. I don't think that this is going to change here. That's our main building. And other than that, we do have some beautiful beaches here. Look at that. Well, at least we cannot travel on vacation this year, but we definitely can do that here in this game here to this beautiful tropical island. Now let's start off. Let's stop with the talking, with the intro. We want to go right for something. Well, we need to start with the research here first. So here you can see the different eras that we have. Colonial, we start here right now, and we need to go for, let's see, free housing. Nope. Advanced boat services. So increases the upkeep of team support, tourist port, and docks by 50%. But also, they are much faster. So in that case, that is our first research there. And how do you earn money? Well, with taxes, with income from leisure buildings, and with exporting goods. So that's something very important. We do have our first plantation here, a corn plantation right now. And we do want to get more plantations up and running. So the first thing we need is, well, we do need a street. First of all, we need to go somewhere. So let's go over here, more into the forest there that we have. And probably going up here as well. So we do have lots of space there, as far as I can see. We have lots of space over there. So let's have another street going right over there. There are no bridges yet. Unfortunately, we can't build a normal street over that one here. We cannot build bridges to the other islands yet. So that's something for later. But this is fine. And over here, well, we can have our first plantations and stuff like that. So let's have a look at my plantations. There we have them. Coconut harvester, that is a good one. There is no coconut here though. Let's see, with the overlay we can see where there's coconut. So we have coconut over here, but that's far away, right? So let's have a look at our plantations. Now plantations is different. We have lots of fertility for corn, for banana, for pineapple. Yeah, sugar is fine too. Cocoa I think is my favorite, and tobacco is very good as well. So tobacco is something we can export then very nicely. So let's have a tobacco plantation here. Plus we have a green overlay here, so it's very fertile for tobacco. So that we have the first tobacco plantation. Let's continue. We do need some fishermen. Let's have some fishermen as well. We do have big beaches here. That's fine for the fishermen. Actually, we could have the fishermen here if we want to. Over here. Well, actually, let's have it close to the docks there. So it's easy to transport the fishes over that we need, right? So that we have the street for that. And in that case here, let's see. Yeah, we can get over here and then connect it with the fishermen. Just fine. Beautiful so far. Let's unpause the game. Let's actually have it at normal speed there again. There we can see it, and the people are now transporting the goods over there. The construction officers here are starting with constructing of my Fisherman Wharf, and the other ones are going over here to the plantation. Now we do have a Teamster office and a construction office here, so there people are working, and in that case here the Teamsters are delivering the goods to the buildings and from the buildings and to my dock. And the construction office, well, they are constructing things. So the more I have of these offices here, the faster my buildings are being constructed. Right now, that was pretty fast, right? We do have the Fisherman Wharf here. We do have a work mode. So in that case here, that is the basic work mode. The other ones we need to research with eras. And in that case here, produces 1.75 units for fish every 1 unit. Right, so that's the normal basic good. And what I can see is we have no workers here right now. Because we're limited to 50 people, of course we cannot infinitely man those plantations and stuff like that. And that's where the boat comes in. So the boat is responsible for importing, export and exporting goods, and also for getting new workers here. So what we can see right now in the storage of the dock is 1,000 corn. That's something we can export now. And there the first ship is coming in. And we've exported 1,000 corn for $2,000, and we got 7 more people. So we have now 57 people here, the population. And there our new citizens are coming out now, one by one. So there is Michael, and there we have Natalia, and there we have, for example, Mila van Beek. So as you can see, there are different nationalities as well. So this one here is from the Netherlands. That is very important because you get some rebels later and factions, and they depend on the country sometimes. That's a pretty cool feature. Now, they're homeless, as we can see, and the workplace for this one here is criminals. So she just started here, and she already has one purpose in life, and that is becoming a criminal, it seems. And she's on her way now robbing people or something like that. That's, of course, not good. The other one here, for example, has a home, he's a bunkhouse, and he's got the Teamster as a workplace office. There we have the plantation, full of workers now, so everyone wants to work here. And that's pretty good. What we can see now is, well, we do have tobacco, first of all. Tobacco is something that we can't consume on our own at the moment, so we're only exporting that. That is pretty important because money is going down quickly, especially because you have to pay the wages and pay for the infrastructure and stuff like that. So in that case here, the plantation is working. No worker here right now. They have to go there by foot for the moment because I don't have any public transportation. Now that's that. What I definitely will need is, well, some bunkhouses. So we do need people living somewhere, and bunkhouses are the cheapest ones that we have right now. We do have the country house, we do have the mansion, that is one for the richer people. The country house is for the well-off people. We don't have either of them. So bunkhouses is for the poorer people, where we can place lots of them for the moment. We do have a tavern here, so it's a good place here to have a bunkhouse close to the tavern then, where people can actually, you know, eat and drink and stuff like that. And as we can see, the tavern is full, so there are lots of guests here. Also pretty cool is if I click on a building, I can see who's, well, in a connection with that. We can see the workers with the gold arrow up here, and we can see the guests with the blue arrow coming in here right now. And they just want to drink and eat something, and they're sitting then here outside on the tables, something like that. Beautiful one.
I need a teensy tiny favor.
Right, and we get a crown demand. We have a revolutionary demand now too. So I asked myself, Governor, do the ends justify being mean? But for independence, any sacrifice is worthwhile. The people have taken this to heart, constantly try to find new ways to sacrifice for the cause. Right, she wants me to build a tavern. I have 120 days. We would get one of these rewards here. So random blueprint, that's a new building, $2,000, 10 revolutionary immigrants, stuff like that. Let's accept that, it's rather easy. And the crown demands that I build 2 ranches there, and we can also decide here again. One of the rewards there, that's interesting, is extend the mandate time by 18 months. Now right now, we're in the colonial age, so I have a mandate, kind of like a king. And in that case here, if that runs out, so I've got 5 years and 5 months. If that runs out, the game is over, I've lost. So there's no coming back from that. So I have quests that I can extend the mandate. Right now it's rather easy, but it becomes more difficult as well. And if I want to adopt democracy then I would have elections every few years. And I have to win them every single time. Otherwise, well, the game is over again. Now here, the bunkhouse is coming up. the next one. As we can see, we get the first residents here living as well. Now with the bunkhouses, I can earn some money then as well. So if we go for the statistics there we can see the income. This one is actually making some money here. Not much though. This one is also making some money now. Not much though. So these are bunkhouses, you know, we don't get that much money out of them. Now next up, we do have some quests. Then let's have the ranch. So 2 ranches I need. There it is. And with the ranch, once again, I have the overlay because I can choose different ranches that I want. The llama, the goat, the pig, the cattle, the sheep. And each one of them has different advantages. So for example, the cattle here has meat and hides. No milk though. The sheep has wool and milk. Let's have the sheep for now. Over here we can see there is a good fertility for the sheep. So we can have one up here for the sheep. And we can have another one for, let's say, pig, cattle. Let's make cattle because that is hides. And what I can see is that we can build it right here as well. So the deep green area that we have it. Right, so there we have a few cattle farms now. And probably a logging camp might be fine. We do have lots of forest here. In that regard, let's have a forest camp here. Making some wood out of that. Now those productions are only the basics, you know, so with the basics, these are raw materials. We can process them into better products than later. For example, with hide, we can go into the tannery and make leather out of that. That though requires higher education of my citizens and, well, does need a bit more money in the beginning, but it pays off in the long term. So we always need to balance that. Right now, what we can also see is our support is 66%. That means that my people, well, are kind of happy. Here we have the revolutionaries and the royalists, the 2 factions right now. The factions are going to change over time as well, but right now we have those 2 factions there. And as you can see, lots of statistics. I really love how the game tells you those different things. What we have here too in the overview is the best overview that we have. So the rebel threat, you can have rebel invasions at some point. We have 9 homeless citizens and 8 unemployed ones. We should change that as well. So we should get another bunkhouse up. We do have the money for that. In that case, let's have them here for the moment. Let's build 2 more bunkhouses there. And let's extend our street there as well. And since, well, it doesn't look that pretty here having only bunkhouses everywhere, let's have a park as well. So park and recreation, that's something where people become happy then if we have something like that. They become happier. So let's have a little park here, raising the land value and thus the happiness of my citizens. And since we have that, we do have some workplaces over here, so it might be a good idea to also have a tavern over here. We do need that for the quest anyway, and workers like to go to taverns then during their working time as well. So let's have a little tavern here, or actually let's have it here, beside the river there, because that's a nice location. So this is where people can then enjoy their day. Now we do have the ranch here, 2 ranches then. We do have the logging camp being built right now. I definitely want to have a second plantation. We have one for tobacco now. We could have one for cocoa. Coffee. Oh, coffee is good here too. And I like coffee. Let's have coffee here. Let's have a third one. So we have tobacco, coffee, banana. Oh, banana is fine. Banana is fine over here. That's pretty close though to the river there. Need to be careful. There we have that. Of course, we do need a road connection here as well. So now we have banana. Now banana is something that is a raw good and that we can consume right away. So in that case here we could use the bananas then for my population as well, making them happier. And it's a beautiful day coming to an end now, right now. As we can see, the sun is setting. Beautiful graphics. Absolutely love that. Let's have a look at my docks here right now. Nothing in store. But as we can see here, people are walking around. The Teamsters are delivering goods. This one here, for example, is getting tobacco and bringing it then to the docks. So here in the out storage of the tobacco plantation, we already have 1,400 tobacco now waiting for export. And there it's reduced now a bit, and there we have the Teamster again, getting now 500 tobacco to the docks. And that's going to be lots of money, so tobacco is a good income source early on. In that case, still lots of things are being built right now. The ranches are also not finished at the moment. we could then have the choice of quick building them. So in this case here, ranches are rather cheap to quick build. Of course, the more expensive the building is, the more it costs to quick build. But let's have a quick build ranch right now. So I just click on that, and it's being built done right away, as you can see, for a bit of money there. So this is our cattle here. We can now choose here for allow to local consumption. I'm going to turn this off for now, so everything they produce is being exported right away. Otherwise, my people would consume it. That's fine later to keep happiness up and stuff like that. But right now, we need to make money, because money is running out sooner or later. And now we just need some workers here. So the more workplaces we have available as well, the more people like to join then at some point. So if I have the place available for housing, and if I have the workplaces, people will come here naturally. And I don't need to worry about anything else. So let's wait for the next ship there. We should have, yep, some tobacco now. 1,000 tobacco in store. This one will make it on time here to deliver something, some corn.
Miners can be so fussy. They get a roof over their head, even if it is rather prone to collapse.
And that is Penultimo here, sexy face. He's our advisor, kind of. And there seems to be a miner strike around the world right now. It will drive up the price of ore. It may also give our miners terrible ideas, like asking for safety equipment and proper tunnels and extra canneries. And it is not good to let your miners eat too many canneries, let me tell you. And the prices of all mineral goods are increased by 15%. That's pretty good. If I would have a mine right now, we would profit from that. I don't. Now the freighter here, 4,000 that we get out of the latest export, that was good. That was the tobacco in that case. And we do get 3 more people living in Tropico. So we have 74 now. That is also growing, of course, because my people like to recreate as well. The climate is quite good here to recreate. And I guess people like that. So we still need the 2 bunkhouses there. As we can see, the streets are being more busy now, or getting more busy. Right now we don't have any cars, only horses, so we don't have that many. But let me tell you, once we reach the era where we have cars, streets will be full, because every single one of them will want to have a car. Right now, carts are the only way. And we're getting some corn here to the dock. So everything that is a surplus that my people don't consume, we can export. In that case, here's some fish we have now available to the Fisherman's Wharf. They're, of course, exporting something as well. Now, the Teamster office seems to be quite busy, you know, so all of them, they need to work. And, oh, and we have finished one of the quests.
Right thing, which is whatever the crown says it is. Cream tea?
And let's not get complacent, though, and remember the old saying, today's governor is tomorrow's plantation sweeper. And, yeah, we can extend the mandate. This is probably the most important one here, since this gives us a bit more time again to reign, and we do need as much time as possible, right? Righto. Another thing that's quite important is trade contracts. So right now we are exporting some goods here, like tobacco, so we can have a look at our trade menu and get some trade deals perhaps. So here we have the export of rum, tobacco and coffee. Coffee, the price is really low right now, so making this arrangement here is not good. But we do produce some tobacco, and there is a contract with plus 4% above the standard price. So that is not much money, but it's a bit money. And we can now choose the volume until we want to have that contract here. And since it's not the best contract, let's choose a medium one, so we get a total bonus of $300 out of this one here. That's not so important. More important though is the reputation gain that we get with the crown here. So we do get a higher reputation. And the higher reputation it is with the crown, for example, the better contracts we get. So let's sign this one here. And now we have a contract with the tobacco. And now we can start exporting tobacco then to the crown in that case here. The export is pretty high now, so 7,700. Really good. So we do make some money, though we don't have that on the bank account necessarily, because we do have quite the expenses. We can look it up here too, so that we can see the expenses that we have and the revenue that we make. So right now there's a big discrepancy here, because the months of course pass by way faster than the freighter comes. So right now we are making a loss of 500 per month, and in that case the next freighter will come in several months then, so we will lose some money until the next freighter comes. So don't get fooled by the amount that we get here right now. We're still making a loss.
Together, Governor Ju, I and the people will turn everything around.
And there's the next quest that we finished, and we appreciate this good turn you have done for us, and I assure you, we will stop revolving before we go all the way around and end up back where we were started. And built the tavern here, so I can choose now. This is a difficult decision, because revolutionary immigrants, they usually make some trouble later on. So I'm not going for that, even though I could use the workforce. But let's get for random blueprint. And we've got the theater out of this one here. So if I go now for entertainment or luxury entertainment, there we have the theater. Of course, right now, totally useless to build. We don't have the money for that. We don't have citizens and tourists to go there. But unlocking those blueprints is rather expensive. So each one of them that I get is a good thing right now. Right, so more bunkhouses have been built. What I can see is that we shouldn't have that many homeless anymore. Nope. So homeless, those guys are probably homeless because they can't afford a home. Right, so that might be something. Other than that, we do have most of my citizens now living in those bunkhouses here. They don't look so good actually, but other than that, that's fine. Here we can see a shack. So those are the homeless people. If they don't get a home or can afford one, then they live here. In that case, do we actually have unemployed people as well? Nope. One, that is really not telling anything. We do have the logging camp now ready as well. Here we can now get the logs out of this one here, and then we have the plantation for the coffee. So we do produce now some coffee, tobacco, bananas soon. It's being built right now. And 2 ranches here, one with the sheep and one with the cattle. Now the sheep is producing as well, and let's not allow for local consumption. Let's export everything that we have here, wool and milk. Now we do have lots and lots of new buildings here.
Feel quite right, Governor. I have a powerful desire to call you Presidente.
Oh, you can do that, Penultimo, use sexy face. And yes, that sounds good. And while it is only fair that the crown receives all of our exports as we are the colony, perhaps it would make a change if we weren't governed with an iron fist. I can't help but notice that the will of the people is leaning in, shall we say, a more independent direction. Now this is the one that progresses us to the World War. It's one of the main quests that you might have. So you have side quest and you have the main quest. This one here, once we finish this, we get to the next era. Though we need to get a bigger goal for that. So it's not a goal that we can achieve that easily. So revolutionary approval, we do need to reach at least 60 of that, right? And the same thing goes for the population supporting revolutionaries is 59 out of 60. This is going to take a bit more time to make the revolutionaries happy. So I guess we are on the faction of the revolutionaries right now because we want to get independent, right? Those revolutionaries are against the crown right now. Well, once we are the crown, they will be against us.
Tiny favor.
And there is a new quest from the crown, or a demand, that is fulfill export trade route with the crown, and we have 180 days. That is going to be a bit more difficult, I think. Let's have a look at my trade. There do I have a smaller one. Meat, rum, sugar, tobacco, there would be something. Meat though. Meat is something that we can do because we do have, and logs. Logs is fine too, but logs is import here, what I can see. So fish, gold, coffee, coal. Let's go with meat, and let's go with a small volume, so we finish this contract here early on, and we need to purchase that, because we can only have one contract right now. If I want to have 2 trade licenses, I need to get another one, so the first purchase is rather cheap with 1,000. I think the next one is then 10,000 already. In that case here, oh, 2,500. That's it. So let's export this one. Then we have tobacco and we have the meat now. Active trade routes, here we can see it, meat, and here we can see the tobacco. So here we can also see the stages of those. So we have exported 500 tobacco out of 3,700 for the contract here. And the meat, well, that is rather low, but we're going to do that anyway if we have that. Now, since we do have lots of them, I think, or lots of these production buildings, I think one Teamster office is not enough anymore. So we will need a second one in that case. That's very important for the infrastructure. Oh, there's a warehouse. I don't know this building. Okay. Teamster office. There, oh, that's a Teamster port. There's the Teamster office. And we want to have that here, right where I have my production buildings. So they can then go there, right, and take the goods and deliver it to the port. So everything right now is being delivered to the port. Right? We are not consuming anything, so we are only exporting stuff. There's the next transporter coming already, but we don't have that much in store right now. Some hides there, some corn. It's really just the raw materials. let's see. We have homeless people. Healthcare, that's something for later. We don't have any unemployed citizens right now, so we should get some more citizens coming with the freighter. As we can see, Teamster office is being built now over here. Oh god, I'm so looking forward to all the things we can do in this game. Really, that game is massive when we look alone at all the buildings that we can get. And these are not all the buildings, trust me. And having then something like public transportation and tourism and stuff like that. This is going to be a thriving city, hopefully. If we not get bankrupt, that is. Now the freighter is coming in. It's starting out rather easy, so don't get, you know, dismotivated by that. This game is really massive. Oh, we haven't really exported that much this time, but we got lots of people. 8 more people coming into Tropico now. And there they are, coming down there. Also, I think we have imported something. Nope, okay, they're just returning to the office there. Right, we do have some meat and some corn now in store for the next freighter that is coming when? In 4 months. 5 months, that is. This is going down now here. And then we have another freighter coming in. So that's that. We do have some production now, very good. Rum is now trending down. Received the blueprint for the theater, so those are some past things there. We don't need that now. Otherwise, the Teamster office is finished now. We do need some people for that though. And yes, if I would need a higher priority for the Teamster office, for example, I could pay them more so that we have the wage. And I could just increase that wage here to $12 per month then. Or I keep it at standard price right now. So the higher the wage, of course, the more expensive it is. But the more the people, the workers can afford. So they could afford then higher education. They could afford higher entertainment. And above all as well, higher buildings or housing. And that pays me more rent then.
But for safety reasons, it is a secret request.
Only I know what it is, and several dozen loose-lipped freedom fighters and your spies. In fact, you almost certainly knew what we wanted before we did. In which case, please do it and we shall say no more. And we have to build the library here. Get another random blueprint. So library is important for basic education, that is, and keeps my people happier. So here we have it. And there we would have the library right now. Generates knowledge for the research of regime tools. That is something new then. We can start researching something there, so we should probably do that. Let's build the library. And in that case, it's a bigger building, and it's also a beautiful building, so we might have it here close to our palace. Right, we can remove the plantation then later. And having a library here in front of the palace will do nicely. Very good. This is our corn plantation. We actually might move it. In that case here, I could demolish it here and then move it somewhere else. If we need the corn somewhere, probably over here, I don't know. I want to keep this area open here for some factories though. So we do have plantations here and then factories here for some higher goods. Something like that for the export. That should do fine. And oh yeah, we have lots of goods now in store here. As we can see, tobacco, meat, wool, corn, hides. The next transporters come. That's going to be lots of money there waiting for us. And those are the fishermen. Getting the job done. Getting me some fish here. Because we don't have any fish right now in our dock there. So that needs to change as well. And with that, so far, nice foundation. 94 people. And we'll continue in the next episode. Stay tuned.